I'm not used to that simpness. So I was like, let me go ahead and be with somebody who is emotional. Let me go ahead and be with somebody who's soft because that's what I need, you know?
Jackie, have you not learned from how the season has panned out? You know what? That I'm gonna pray for you, girl. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, oh, I'm about to yawn because it's hella early in the morning for me right now. Okay, it's early in the morning for me, but everybody has been sending me this interview with Sharonda. Shout out to Sharonda. I think her channel's name is Pay or Wait. I'll have either the channel or the video linked here or in the description box so you can check out the full video and check out her channel as well. But yeah, everybody has been sending me this interview, so I figured let me just talk about it on one platform so I don't have to keep getting the DMs, okay? Before I get into it, please make sure to like this video, subscribe and hit the bell, and leave a comment down below. Announcement about the reunion. Yes, on Discord, we will be watching it together this evening, 8 p.m. Eastern. And somebody in the comments said, at least give us Zim time. Okay, Zim time will be, wait, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 2 a.m. So if you want to stay up till 2 a.m., that's when we're going to watch it together on Discord. Okay. Okay. So, starting with Micah. Micah claims that her friends mean well in the way that they choose to vet her partners. And when it comes to them laughing at the wedding, she tends to be an unserious person, takes everything as a joke, takes everything lightly. So she believes they didn't understand the weight of the emotions that she was feeling and kind of misread the situation.
Yeah, no, my friends, they have seen me go through a lot in relationships. I think that to their core, they want me to be happy. Does it come across great when they're really aggressive with people? No, absolutely not. But it all comes from a place of love. And I think that, they only got to see such a small amount of Paul and I's story. And from what they saw, they were like, get the hell out of here. Like, get your bag and go. Like, this is not it. And it just wasn't accurate. So I had to take everything with a grain of salt, but it all comes from a place, of love.
I wanted to talk about this because, well, one, whew, I was watching their wedding on 1.5 speed. You guys know this. So there's some things that I missed about the wedding, and I'm gonna touch on them right now. But it's becoming more prevalent to me that maybe Micah doesn't have the best support system just in general. And I do understand this is a television show. One, everything is chopped down. And two, there's a narrative that people are trying to sell. So, of course, you can make anybody look like a villain if you really wanted to. And there are things that you can chop out to add, that would add context so that they can sell a specific story. I'm aware of that. But I'm going to talk about what they showed us, okay? From the pods, it seemed like the person she gravitated to was somebody who would kind of feed into the negative side of her, you know what I mean? The side that would make fun of other people and would take pleasure in people's downfall, you know? And at that moment, I was like, wow, Micah's so vile. Like, what the hell? But then as I see this season go on, I kind of feel like she doesn't have the best people in her circle. Her friends are also kind of the same way. The one friend was supportive at the time, but at the wedding, she was also laughing with Shelby. And then there's this whole conspiracy of Paul slapping her bum. I don't know. Y'all know I love my tinfoil hat. I love a conspiracy, but we don't know what Paul was doing. It might have been a slip of the hand. We don't know, right? And I'm even thinking when she was telling her parents about Paul, even the vetting process wasn't much. They didn't ask a lot of questions about Paul. They're kind of just like, oh, that's what you're going to do. Okay, cool, fine, like whatever. And then it almost seemed like she was looking for that, like, good on you, girl, like, look at you, you're finally doing something like great or whatever, I don't know. And the way she was like, oh, we're gonna invite so and so and so and so, and you can invite people too, and everybody can come. It felt like this was her moment to say, look at me, like, I've done something. And she wasn't really getting that support. She said that she is an only child and came from a divorced family. And even in her vows, she said she was happy to finally have a full family unit in marrying Paul. And then that still didn't happen. I don't know. I'd have to really flesh out how I feel more about this, but it's really sad when you think about it. Like, I look at Micah and I kind of pity her situation. Yeah, I hope she does get some better friends. I know she thinks that they mean well, but when your friend is crying, it doesn't matter how serious you think it is, she's crying. How about we tend to her, you know? Nobody even got up quick enough for me. They did not get up quick enough, but that's a story for another day. Also, Paul saying that she was unnurturing and couldn't see himself marrying her now or even 10 years from now. I'm like, where was this throughout the season? I told y'all that man was sly. Where was this throughout the season? Why didn't you feel like you could be open enough to tell her that and to hold that until the wedding day? I don't know. That's Val. But let's move on. Tiffany talks about how her and Brett didn't have many issues in filming. And at first she thought, okay, this is why it has to be too good to be true. But she said after the cameras left, it's clear that they're just that well suited and that the issues that they have are not big enough to create a problem. You know, their love is the ultimate thing that they're going to be focused on. And I said in earlier videos, I don't remember which couple I attributed it to, but don't let roommate issues become marriage problems. Simple as. And I think that's the philosophy that Brett and Tiffany are taking. We can have little tips here and there, but they don't need to tarnish the love we have between each other. They don't need to ruin the bond that we've created, because those little things can be fixed. We might not get the love back if those things boil over unnecessarily. You know what I mean? Moving on, Arena claims that the love between her and Zach was real. And it wasn't that she was unattracted to him, but there were certain mannerisms and his demeanor, aspects of his demeanor that she didn't like.
I was in my own race and my own journey, doing my own thing. I didn't care about what anyone else was going through. Coming in there, I told myself, hey, I'm going to only I feel like I was narrowing down every guy. Like if there was a moment where I didn't feel like the person was for me, I would cut it off right then and there. And I did that for multiple guys. And I feel like Zach was the last one that I had the best connection with. I loved his story, who he was as a person, everything about him. Like we really bonded on our like kind of like growing up, childhood, trauma, parents, things, everything like that. He was one of the best guys that I met on the show. It was nothing to do with Bliss. That was her own like conversation that she was having with Zach. And so when me and Zach were together, that was it. So I didn't have, I definitely like loved Zach, and I meant it when I said that. I remember being in the like outside the pods the day before engagements and being like, I think I'm gonna marry this guy.
Cap. I'm so sorry. She says she wasn't in the pods for her claim to fame. She was there to truly find love. I don't think so. Maybe you were. I think everybody has an aspect of, you know what, if I do end up falling in love with somebody, that would be great. But the fact that even on her personal brand, she tends to lead with her business, I'm like, I don't know. This would have been a great opportunity to launch your business if it panned out in a different way for you. But because it didn't, it's taking the adverse, you know? It's having adverse effects on her business. And I think now she has to go with the whole, no, I was genuinely there for love. I was. Okay, girl. Anyways, she says that something about Paul was in there. Oh, yeah. She says that she had told Zach she didn't want to be intimate before the wedding. You know, she wasn't going to kiss him. She's not this overly affectionate person. It takes time for it to grow. I don't believe that either. She claims that attractiveness isn't important to her, but I think that it is, because when you saw Paul and you saw that there was an attraction there with him, it was easy for you to flirt. It was easy for you guys to be touching hands and pretending to nibble fingers and stuff like that. It was a very different relationship than what you had with Zach. However, she was saying that in the pods, whenever she saw that a connection wasn't going to go anywhere, she cut it off immediately. But Zach was that last person who she really loved and she really wanted to pursue something with. And so if the love was there and if attraction didn't matter, why did things pan out the way that they did? And I'm sorry, I know a lot of people like to focus on like Zach being weird. Paul and Zach are two peas in a pod. They're two peas in a pod. They're pretty damn similar. So I'm like, yeah, Arena, I'm not buying it. Before I leave on them, Zach was also in the interview and he said that At the end of the day, even if Arena would have tried, yes, he might have not ended the relationship as soon as he did, but he can see that they would have never gotten married. I don't know how far true that is, but he says by the second day, things were clearly not gelling. So, yeah, even if they stayed together, it wouldn't have ended in a marriage. So, okay, moving on to Jackie. Jackie says there's more to the story when it comes to Marshall. And when he would get frustrated, he would say things that were out of line, and she didn't respect that in him.
So there was some stuff that was going on off camera that me and Marshall had. It was like a little some stuff talking that he should have been talking. And there was, the whole blow up with like, oh, you're a project and all this stuff. And I was kind of just like, yeah, you reap what you sow. So you're gonna sit here and talk to me and say that about me, then I'm gonna go ahead and keep it pushing and find somebody who wants to be with me and happy with me and know that Jackie B is okay.
There were definitely some personal issues. However, it's just the pressures of filming and the cameras being in our faces for however many weeks definitely played a part. And I'm no saint. Definitely I feel like I applied a little bit too much pressure onto her, and that broke her down, and things just happened how they happened.
Just based on the whole your project statement, I could see how being in the heat of the moment, some people say things that could provoke. I get that. Sometimes it happens to me too, you know what I mean? But she has been spreading the story that Marshall had said a transphobic slur to her. I'm not sure what the slur is. Even if I knew, I wouldn't be saying it. So she's kind of doing this whole deflection. Don't look at me. Marshall is also bad. Look at him. And it's like, baby, two things can be true. If it comes out that Marshall was a vile person when the cameras weren't around, Marshall's going to have his just desserts too. But that doesn't nullify what happened here between us and you, baby girl. Between you and Marshall, baby girl. Like, we can dislike multiple people at a time. That's not a problem. That's not a problem. Not at all. So it's interesting how she thinks that exposing other people will absolve her of her own actions. And that's just not how it works. She also says that she and Josh are living together, and they have been living together for a while. That's her road dog. She also said that in the pods, that was more of her best friend, whereas Marshall was the softer, more emotional person that she knew that she needed, but realized later that's not what she wanted. All the best to you and Josh. Honestly, we didn't see enough of Josh in the pods, but what we saw out of the pods, okay, girl. I think the last thing I'm going to talk about is Chelsea and Kwame. Oh, I do have Paul in here. Okay, quickly. Paul said he didn't know what he was going to say up until he got to the altar. He was wavering all throughout the wedding. So basically, I guess what Micah said was true. And she said that she didn't want to say, did I even talk about Micah? I did talk about Micah, but I didn't talk about this part. She said she wanted Paul to go first because she didn't want him to feel pigeonholed into saying yes. And now in his little interview, he's saying that he didn't know what he was going to do and everything came to him just as he was talking. So it's potentially true that if Micah had gone first and said yes, he would have said yes. Maybe. I don't know. But lastly, we're going to talk about Chelsea and Kwame. They are both saying that they are on a journey when it comes to Kwame's mom, but they're working on building a connection with Chelsea and the mom, and Kwame and the mom are working on reconciliation.
We are good. We have met. It was a beautiful first visit. There's room to grow. We've given, her lots of grace and understanding. This is an intense journey to see your child, get married and on TV and do something so, non-traditional. But I am so excited for the future of our relationship for sure.
It's a journey. Mama is good. She's taking it day by day. They've met, Mom and I weren't on the best terms after it happened. We needed some separation. But since that, I actually just got a care package from her yesterday of food and African and Ghanaian things. So Mama and I are in a great spot, and I respect her her opinion on it. I think after things happen, I realized how important it is to me, and so we're bonding over it and we're working things out.
I'm here for it. You and Chelsea, we still cool? We still married?
We still cool. We still married.
Okay, I'm here for it.
Kwame, when he was talking about this story, everybody was kind of like, and then even after he had finished talking, in his defense, Sharonda shifted the attention to Zach, so they could have been giggling about Zach, but the little like snickers and smirking after Kwame was talking, saying like, "Oh yeah, we're cool and we're together." I'm like, IDK. But as we know, the reunion is tonight if you're watching this on Sunday. So we're gonna see all the tea being spilt today. And even if we don't see it on the reunion, we know these people are gonna talk on social media because they have been talking. NDAs what? Non-existent. They have been talking. So I'm ready to hear. I'm ready to hear the business. I'm ready to hear the tea. I'm ready to hear the drama. I will be seated with my tea and my popcorn. Okay? So until then, like, comment, share, and subscribe. I'll be posting that review on Monday. I'll be posting it on Monday. So I'll see you in the next one.